Belize is a Central American country that lies between the nations of Guatemala and Mexico and borders the Caribbean Sea. Belize is a subtropical country defined by very hot temperatures and a high humidity index. The country is marked by annual seasons of rainfall and drought, which impact all who rely on the weather for agricultural purposes. Belize has a population of 334,297 people and has a total land area of 22,806 square kilometers, making it the most sparsely populated country in Latin America, with just a total of 37 people per square mile. Over half of the population of Belize is rural. This means that the liquid waste pollution has a large impact on the majority of the population. Agriculture is a very dominant business in Belize, but because of the inability of Belize to control its liquid waste pollution, many small farmers are suffering from polluted waters entering their lands. The rapid development of coastal communities is causing a decline in the amount of agricultural land available in Belize. Belize is defined by an array of many cultures among its people. Belize is abundant with different customs and beliefs, but despite these differences, the families in Belize are all relatively similar. Many families in Belize use a cognatic kinship. This is a system where the extended family lives and assists the parents in order to raise a child. These kinships are also important for labor exchange and are a support system in times of need. In these cognatic kinships, parents may take turns going to work each day while other family members stay at home with all of the children. Belizean households usually consist of the parents, children, and any extended family and caretakers living within the household. The most dominant occupations in Belize are primary school teachers, registered nurses, and high school teachers. The largest barrier for many families in Belize is the lack of adequate sewage and water supply. The solid and liquid waste is posing serious health and environmental risk. The landfills in Belize are not properly sealed to prevent the contaminants from leaking into the groundwater. The solid waste landfills are all often too burned, which is an environmentally harmful practice. Similar to solid waste, the coastal nation of Belize is also unable to handle its liquid waste. Natural resources are diminishing, and the liquid waste problem is also contributing to major health risks. The inability of Belize to control its liquid waste is also harming the marine ecosystems and the barrier reef. Shrimp and tilapia farming are major industries in Belize, and the contamination of the coastal environment largely impacts their business. Farmers cannot sell food knowing that it was watered by the contaminated supply. The liquid waste problem in Belize seems to be worsening because of the large number of tourists visiting the coastal nation. Belize does not have the appropriate infrastructure to handle the large number of tourists visiting the country every day. The majority of passengers on these ships visit attractions in Belize within 2 hours and then they leave. The tourists are never aware of the damage they are inflicting upon the citizens because they leave before they can see the repercussions of their actions. All of these attractions lack the appropriate sewage and solid and liquid waste facilities. The liquid waste is a larger issue for rural populations who heavily rely on pond and river water to meet their needs. The rural population does not have access to clean water, and therefore they are using and consuming the contaminated water. The contaminated water also leaks back into the environment and contaminates millions of acres of crops each year. This is an extreme issue for food security and is harming many industries, including the shrimp and tilapia industry. Poorer communities are also largely impacted by the rising concern because they cannot afford adequate drinking water. These citizens have been drinking contaminated water for years now, and this is all because of the selfish actions of the tourists around them. Once someone has been poisoned by contaminated drinking water, there is no reversing the damage. Small children's lives will never be the same because they began drinking the poisonous water from birth. There has been a rising number of gastrointestinal maladies among poor rural communities. Infants and elderly adults are also more susceptible to the serious health risks that are exposed because of inadequate liquid management. The solid and liquid waste problems have been so bad in Belize that many acres of farmland have come to ruins. The water supplies are so contaminated that they are not safe to use, and overflowing landfills are causing serious risks to safety and human health. In order for Belize to thrive, something has to be done about the inadequate waste management. Without a fix to the issue, Belize will not be able to be the touristy nation it is today. If nothing is done, the coastal nation as we know it will one day fall to ruins because it can no longer sustain itself.